Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerd Steve, and today I'm joined by all these fine nerds. We're going to be playing some 7th edition GammaWorld. I believe that's the actual edition, but it's based off 4E D&D rule set uh, with some modifications. It's a very not rules light, it's a very beer and pretzel style game. And we are actually playing in a sports league called Mayhemball, Mutant Mayhemball, and our brave athletes here have showed up to their next venue, but unfortunately, the city seems to be overrun by pods that have snatched up the citizens and residents, and they've encountered monstrous veggie bugs that did try and take a bite out of them quite a few times, and gave them some difficulties. And now they're in the process of trying to figure out how to rescue the town so they can play their sports ball game and continue their winning streak. So with that, we're going to jump into it. And you guys had just finished defeating the huge bug that was basically the size of your bus that seemed to be acting as a sentinel upon the Green Lab, which was your destination. I believe you guys are hoping to find out any information about what's going on here in the city, the city of Verdant Val, which is a giant, basically biodome that has a jungle inside of it. Outside is apocalypse wasteland. Inside, the buildings have been like bioengineered from a jungle itself. You guys have just entered the building, and it's got like the bioluminescence from different plants is giving off a light, and it seems to be like pulsing a little bit, almost like eerie, like in a horror zombie movie sort of way. But there doesn't seem to be anything living inside other than the structure itself and the plant growth that seems to be expanding out from it. And you can kind of see like the tendrils and vines all seem to be heading in one direction. And the way it flickers and flashes, it's almost like indicator, like pointing in a direction leading deeper into the facility. What is it you guys would like to do?
Bursting against my power armor, like, mwah, thank God. Thank God, we made it through that one, guys.
Like you guys are kind of in a lobby, like a lobby area now. Like there's a desk where someone would be standing. So there's some waiting. There's some chairs and like a set up like almost like a waiting room. And then behind, off to the side, behind the door, behind the desk, is a set of doors, almost like you would see in a hospital, the swinging doors.
Well, fearless leader, your call. And Dante just like ushers like with a gesture.
Oh. Pointing at Sai, you're pointing at me.
Pointing at Sai, because
Okay.
Sai's the team captain.
Sai immediately looks clueless. All right, well, can I get some input on this?
I mean, there's the arrow pointing that way. We can always check that out.
Man. All right, but what if we get jumped?
Are we gonna get jumped by anything bigger than that? And I'll point to the huge frickin' plant bus that we killed.
You know what? That's fair. And I start going that way.
All right, so you push open the doors wide. They swing either way. Immediately, it's a fairly wide hallway, and to either side there are doors. Some of them are open, some of them are closed. You can right from where you're at, you can kind of see into one of them, and it just looks kind of like an office space.
Well, I wonder who is doing business here.
Yes, like, could I I mean, I won't have like a +4 the science stuff. It's like they're like computers to look at or whatever. Or
There are, but they're very strange because they're made out of plants.
oh no, we got the matrix. I guess even though it's not my best suit, I'll make an attempt to check it out if anyone wants to. Or
Okay,
if
so-
I assist someone doing that.
So give me a DC 15 check to just kind of like figure out how it works.
Just mechanics, nature, or
You can go with science, I would say.
okay. I don't think that's gonna do it, Chief. That's not it.
Can I give it a go?
You may. You get distracted by their version of a mouse and just start like pushing it off the table.
Oh, that sounds cool as hell. Like literally just a Gundam hat, thing, like on its fours, chasing like whoa, 4.
How about a dirty 20?
That is higher than the 15. So yeah, so you figure it out, and basically, you kind of like sink your fingers into what would be like the keyboard, and they kind of like sink into almost like a gel, right? And it kind of like engulfs your hands, and you kind of merge with it, and you like figure out how to operate it and turn it on, but it is password protected.
Nice.
Hmm.
Good security in the future, man.
Password is always 1 2 3 4 5, right?
1 2 3 4 5 password.
I snidely say
How
check
much I have
under,
in my luggage?
check under the keyboard. Maybe they left the pass note there.
Yeah, tell me how you want to figure out like.
Can we search around to see if again, as Perlog said, maybe there's a note somewhere with what the password is?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Oh wow, that's 23.
There you go.
19
23.
plus 4.
All right, so you search around, and someone has kind of taped a note underneath of the desk that you find and pull off, and it seems like it's been removed several times and put back on, and it has the password scrawled on it, so you're able to kind of hack into it. Well, not hack into it. You're able to open it with the password.
But what happens when I put the password in?
It turns on. What are you looking for? Like, there's all kinds of icons that kind of like appear, almost like a holographic image. Like it's almost set up like an old school monitor, except for it's kind of like a hollow box, right? Instead of having a screen, the bioluminescence lights kind of project images onto where the screen would be.
Okay.
But it's also three-dimensional, so as you manipulate it, like you can turn and move the shapes and the objects inside, so it's multi-dimensional, so it can each surface can hold more data.
Is there, to correlate it to our understanding, is there anything that would like seem like a recents file? Like what was the last thing that was looked at?
All right, give me a search check using science in order to navigate the system that's a little alien to you.
11 plus 6, 17.
That just miss the DC.
All right, well, looks like I hit a dead end here, guys.
Well, it's not like I haven't encountered weird tech before. Can I try to
You
get
are
over-
weird tech. You may.
No, I'm Dante right now. I'm not Herbie.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Dante is not weird tech. Dante is totally biological. So.
All right. DC 19.
DC 19. Okay. Let's roll my Nerdarchy die. Don't fail me now.
Definitely famous last word.
Shit, I broke it.
You broke the die?
I think I broke the computer. I got a nat 1.
Oh! You definitely short something out and it just goes offline. You're not sure what you did.
Yeah.
And it appears to be rebooting, but like you get this world's version of the blue screen of death.
Well, gosh, I'm sorry. I guess I
off and on.
This tech is a little too weird for me, I guess. I was hoping I could get past the firewall without a problem. Clearly, this doesn't like firewalls. So
You're too hot. You're too hot for its firewall. Sorry.
you already know it.
So
Junior.
it's not broken.
Hey, Junior,
Huh?
what have you got?
I go away from the mouse that I'm hunting and hobble over towards the computer. I press the on button. I'm assuming it just turned off. You know, or like.
Whatever it's doing, it's still doing it. What's Sai doing while this is going on?
Like, okay, what's the layout of the situation?
Okay, so kind of wide hallway, like 15-foot wide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys went in. These guys went into one of the first offices. The doors are open. If you check them, some of the doors are locked, some of them are open. You know, you could probably force them open without too much trouble if you guys wanted to. You're fairly strong. But they look like basically the administrative offices to the lab up here.
Yeah,
But-
I want to open some of the locked doors, like just one, because there might be something dangerous in there, and if there is, I don't want to like screw up too big. But
Yeah, so you open them and you don't find anything dangerous. You find things like strange plants that are actually in a pot or in like a terrarium and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know, charts and stuff on the walls, lots of books having to do with botany and flora.
So is this the administration of a science building?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the green lab is a science building.
Oh.
And you kind of gather, like, as you're kind of just looking and glancing around, you know, they seem to definitely be very focused on flora over anything else. And then you also see some things that are like, the more sciencey people are gonna be like, oh, that's directly related to genetics, and you know, that's a book on gene splicing and creating hybridization. Some of it's pretty rudimentary, like, hey, this is how we make an orange by crossbreeding these two lemons and limes, and then other things are, I think that's right, and other things are, you know, more advanced, like, oh, like we can or incorporate animal DNA into these plants so that they don't they're less susceptible to frost.
I just had an idea regarding the computer, or at least something that would make sense. In regards to that, this thing is pretty messed up, but if this place is any bit of important, I doubt it's the only way to access this information. There might be a server room of some sort around where all of things is localized.
So
That's
in the distance side, because you're kind of
Mhm.
you know, outside of the room exploring the vicinity, you can see that the hall goes on for a while, and you can guess, you know, approximately at the center of the building, the hall like branches, but almost like a round rotunda, that it kind of comes up against, and there's darkened glass windows in the distance.
Okay.
But then the hall seems to split right and left, but on a curvature, not on right angles.
So while the others are checking out the thing that Carlos was talking about, I want to like look around and see if I can find any notebooks and things that have been like left among the botany notes, and like like a journal or something.
Okay, give me a perception check to see if you find anything that seems important to you.
Yes, let's go. Oh no. No. Absolutely not.
You find tons of stuff, and you're like, "Here, guys, look what I got!" And it's like a paperweight,
It's a whole bunch of bananas.
letter opener. There may actually that would
Stapler.
not be. That wouldn't. Yeah, a bunch of bananas wouldn't be too crazy. But maybe they're like multicolored, pink and purple, kind of tie-dyed looking.
So I'm like coming through here, like I can't hold all of these things that I found.
You guys find tons of like office supplies, anything that would be a generic office supply that you feel like you want to take, you can just put it on your character sheet.
Oh yeah.
Within reason.
Stapler and scissors. No, seriously, maybe the scissors could be a close range weapon at some point if I lose my other weapons.
Get those scissors that come apart, so you could have two stabbing daggers there, Carlos.
Maybe. Oh, like Lord Two. I could be Lord Two Shanks. Yes.
Not to be confused with Lord One Shank.
Right. Stapler, scissors. Scissors are always nice to have. Alrighty. Sigh, that's a lot of stuff. Whoa.
I like click the stapler at you.
You also find some like degrees that have been framed and like certificates and that kind of stuff. Find like family portraits. They're offices where people, where they work, and a lot of the stuff you find is like things that they made, did to them to make the space feel a little more homely.
Interesting. What do they look like, if you don't mind me asking? Like,
the people. So
Yeah.
all the people. Obviously, there are mutates like pretty much everyone in this world, except for there's an exceedingly higher amount of mutates that seem to be plant-based, or fungus-based, or any kind of flora, really.
I definitely point that out if no one else hasn't seen it yet. Like,
And some of it could be as simple as just like the coloring of their skin and their hair and their eyes that that would make them fit in and kind of blend a little better with the jungle. Some of it is like, oh, is that a flower in his hair, or is that part of that person?
literally, I think Perla Jr.'s mind will immediately go to like gene splicing and stuff, like thinking like, whoa. Do you think they're trying to enhance their own mutations? And this is the results of what they've become?
Well, you definitely find some notes, about, modifying, vegetation, plants. But obviously, someone had to do something because this place is mostly grown. Even their tech is plant-based somehow.
Man, these villains would do anything to get an edge in the game, wouldn't they? I thought enhancements were outlawed in this sports league.
It's only outlawed if you kind of get.
This is, oh, yes, but still very distasteful.
I mean, maybe there's big money to be had in this. Think about it. Like, people bet on sports. Maybe they got a little greedy.
Well, you haven't seen anything directly linked to Mayhemball. More of it seems to be like growing food, growing buildings.
Of course.
I can see how you might be like, yeah, this. I wonder how they're using this to get an edge.
Well, I mean, relax a cat. Cats are always conspiratorial.
Yeah. Well, one of the offices definitely has a bunch of swag in it for the home team. Like pennants and stuff like that.
Wow.
This could also be bigger than the game.
So we should look in that office more, because if they've got, like, if there's somebody here who's that big of a fan, this is going to be the office that's going to be most likely to be doing the things that's kind of against the rules.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree.
I mean, yeah, like in that room, like you can find like pictures of the team. Basically their current lineup. And like it's got like, like there's like several pitches. So some of them show them kind of like huddled. Some of them show them like just standing together with each other. There's definitely a shot of them from the back, so you can see like all their jersey. Like they're probably not their actual playing jerseys, but just like team paraphernalia with like all their names on it. And there's definitely like jerseys all over the walls, one for each player. One says Leaf Wind, one says Thorn Lasher, Mud Root, Glimmer Petal, Bark Skin.
I'm not so much concerned with the swag stuff. I'm looking to see whether there's any kind of notes, anything on the computer that might detail experiments or illegal things. Looking for hidden stuff, looking to try and find what they don't want somebody else to know.
So even like what anything that you find where some of it might be considered sketch someplace else, for all you know, it's legit here. And some of it does seem super cutting edge for you, who's very has a very savvy scientific mind. But it's very focused. They got a theme going here, and there's very little deviation from it. What can we do with plants? How can plants make our lives better? How can we coexist with plants? They're very eco-friendly, from what you can tell.
I don't know what else we can do here, folks. Do we just head on out of here and start pulling people out of pods? And we're not getting anything here.
Well, you haven't gone very deep yet. You're just in the administrative area where the offices are.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You haven't actually come across anything that appears to be a lab, and I don't. And Sai did see up in the distance, what appears to be like a central hub.
Zostrog,
Yeah.
I know this sounds wild, but if you see this right here, it's talking about trying to make plants more resilient by splicing in components from animals, people. Maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. Maybe what we've encountered so far aren't humans and bugs mutated into plant-like creatures. What if what we're encountering are plants that have mutated to resemble these other things? Because you see there's talk about food here, but plants make their own food.
That's true.
I don't know. Something doesn't quite add up. I'm not incredibly investigative. Full disclosure, I just tend to blast things. But something about this seems amiss enough that those of all of the rest of you, Junior, Sai, who are smarter than me, might be able to make connections.
Well, Dante, if it makes you feel any better, I was a musician before I got into any of this, so.
And I just blasted the shit out of people that could take it.
Yeah, to each their own.
So, yeah.
So shall we venture further down there, Sai?
Yes.
So as you guys approach, and it seems like this is taking, whatever this center is taking up a large majority of the building. And someone give me either a mechanics or science check when you get up towards the windows.
My mechanics is 6. Anybody got better?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Oh,
what level are we?
Dice are rolling pretty well tonight. That's a 24.
Nice.
Okay, yes. So what you actually believe these are privacy windows, like you don't know what the mechanism is, and it's probably on the inside, but where it can be, the windows can be opaque, or they can be complete or they can be completely translucent, so you can see through, or colored to block out. So currently they're probably more like one-way mirrors, but they're not actually mirrors.
Right. So I will convey that information about the windows. Yeah, pretty much means whatever is inside, they don't want looking out.
Other way around, but yes.
Sorry, yeah.
but also from an educational standpoint, with it would actually serve as, like, if they wanted to be observed, they could actually go. It goes the other way, right? They could open it up so people can look in and see what's going on from out here, and maybe house more people, or maybe so they're out of the way of whatever's going on inside of there. Again, this place is a lab.
So I have a question, Dave. I imagine, being a superhero, I've encountered my share of mad scientists. So I think it would be fairly reasonable to assume that my character would have observed that, generally speaking, labs that are run by biologics like us would tend to be like on the colder side, or maybe like not so focused on being like an environment to necessarily like be tropical. Mm-hmm. So my question then is, what is the environment in this place? Is it such that it seems designed to habit tropical plants, or is it such that it seems colder and more designed to habit biologics? Because my thought process, right, as a player in the mind of my character is, if this is animals being mutated into plants, they're going to want a cooler environment to kind of preserve the animal parts, what have you. But if it's about mutating plants into animals, you're going to want a more tropical, humid environment to kind of like make the plants thrive. So my question is about the environment itself in relation to which direction are we looking that this lab is doing stuff.
It is a little more humid. It's slightly cooler than outside in the rest of the biodome, but not by much.
Okay. So this isn't a place that's like intent on freezing things or making things like meat preserved, as it were.
No. At least this section isn't anyway.
Okay. I think that my character is... I have a -1 intelligence. So he's not going to be able to like piece together all the things I just articulated. But I think he's kind of like muttering as they're going just along that way that others who are perceptive would probably gather that's the general reasoning track that he's trying to figure out, but just can't make the connections, being that he's not a thinker, he's a doer.
So now you have a hall that that goes basically right or left, but it's moving in a circular motion around that center hub.
Which way do you guys want to go?
Well, is there signage that would direct us toward different areas?
Yeah, actually there is. Like, you notice some of the there was nameplates on some of the doors, although the names didn't really mean anything to you. Dr. So-and-so, Dr. this, or just a name. And then so basically there is signage, but like both say kind of the same thing because it's a circle, right? Main lab, greenhouses, but it appears like both would take you like to either of those things. Stairs, but again are on both sides.
Okay, I'll make a note of the doctor's names, but otherwise kind of look to Zostrog and Sai and Junior like, what do you guys think? Where are we going? Do we split up, gang?
I don't think it's a wise idea for us to split up. I think we need to find the core of this, and if that means we stick together and take a little bit of time, then that's what we do.
That.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So, right or left? According to signage, is the same either way.
Say it, Robin.
Semper Lateralis.
Ever leftward.
Okay, so you guys head to the left, and finally things are broken up. You don't actually have to go particularly far before you come to a set of large double doors on your right side that would lead into this center hub. They seem sealed, and then to your left there's stairs, and then there's a sign saying greenhouse. Is basically if you were to continue on straight. Now this door does seem to have some kind of key reader like the one you guys saw when you first entered the biodome.
I think greenhouse might be what we're looking for, but that's just
well, you got stairs, main lab, and greenhouse.
Worth a shot.
Yeah.
Greenhouse or main lab?
Greenhouse.
All right, I'll take point and start heading to the greenhouse.
All right, so you guys basically almost do a complete circle before you get to the doors that are the greenhouse. Again, also sealed by large double doors. But the whole wall is glass here. You can actually see right into it. It is just rows and rows of plants on the bottom, and then you can see that there's a veranda up top, which looking in and up, you can see that there's plants up there as well, and above the ceiling seems to be some kind of bioluminescence that is casting a steady light down upon everything.
I'm
that
pretty
mimics
knowledgeable.
mimics the sun.
I'm pretty knowledgeable about plants. do the things in there look like normal things that I'm, used to seeing and what have you? Or is it like full of stuff I've never heard of or seen before?
I would say a combination.
Okay.
And even from here, you can see that like all the different plants seem to be labeled, and like scientifically though, like there's like the scientific name and then like a common name. And then like in each section, there's like charts, almost like medical charts, that where you can see like from here it's hard to tell, but you can see like writing like, on a clipboard.
Hopefully it's not curiosity killed the spider, but I'm intrigued. Do the doors open?
Again, card reader. But if Perlock wants to, it was Perlock, not Perlock Jr. that opened it.
I mean, he's of the same octopod species, so he has affinity for intelligence.
Yeah. No. What I was gonna say, had it been Perlock himself, I would grant advantage.
Oh.
Which in this is just a +2. I mean, they call it combat advantage, but similar. I would grant that because he actually did the opening of the last one.
Oh. Yeah, Dad was hurt. He couldn't make it. I guess I'll just take a stab at it if anyone doesn't mind.
Go for it.
It's science I'm looking for.
Science or mechanics?
Well, either with the same number for me. Oh my god. My dice are abusively hating me today. It was like on 15, then it rolled over to 5.
Almost the same.
Grand total of 9.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. And also, the locks in here actually look a little bit more sophisticated than even the ones you guys used to breach the city itself.
Oh, wow.
Like, these people value what's ever in here more than they did like the actual entrance to the city.
Okay, I think we need to try this. And Dante lights up, and I would like to try to melt the area that the door latches.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, you can absolutely slag it.
Okay, yeah. Do I need to use an attack roll or anything, or is it just happen?
Nah, it's just gonna happen. Worst case scenario is you're just gonna keep pouring on the heat.
Yeah.
Until it gives, right?
Oh yeah.
So you guys gotta, everyone that's not Dante has to wait a few minutes for the molting metal to kind of cool a little bit. It's like dripping. You've melted the glass. It's like, and you're able to, and as you do, a gush of humidity just hits you like a wall, kind of escaping.
Well, that was rather dramatic.
As the climate inside the greenhouse itself is clearly different than the external in the hallway here.
I hope we didn't, fuck something up.
Just decades of research, that's all.
Yeah, right.
At this point, everything's fucked up anyway, right? Like, we've got people in pods, or maybe the pods are growing new people. We don't know. And standing here, trying to finesse something that's being obstinate is not going to work.
Oh, I'm not saying you did anything wrong, Dante. I'm just, it's just one of those things, you make an exclamation. But I'll step in. I'm eager to read these little placards and charts.
It's all the names of the players. Like, we knew it!
So yeah, as you do, you can see better. Like, there's like a breakdown, like the common name, the scientific name, what is it? What is it? What is the
genus and species?
Yes, that is the word I was looking for. The genus and species of particular, and where where they came from, or if more than one was crossbred or hybrid it together to create it. And then there's like notes on each one, like this is for food production, these are going to provide light, these have the property of filtration for the city. So And and you can see that like it's something like on a daily basis, up until 3 days ago, was being updated.
So what happened 3 days ago?
That is the big question. I'll spend a little bit of time, looking to try and see if there's any notes here about less than 3 days ago, or if anything gives me indications that lead to what's going on outside.
Not in here, there isn't.
All right.
I mean,
well,
if you're sciencey, it's definitely interesting. All right.
Right. So I probably spend a little bit more time than I should, but not crazy long before it's like, all right, I guess we gotta go to the lab.
Yeah, because it kind of appears like whatever they're doing here seems routine to them, but would be kind of groundbreaking anywhere else.
So I guess this means if everything ended unexpectedly, maybe we're looking for some shattered glass or an enclosure that's opened up.
That sounds pretty sound to me.
So I am decently perceptive. Can I use my perception to try to find out if anything is like amiss or like is showing evidence of an escape?
You don't need to roll. You don't find anything like that. And there is one detail as you guys have gone further in here, because basically to enter the greenhouse you had to go all the way around that center hub, and you can see that all the like bioluminescent vines that kind of make up the run along the roof, they all lead back to that hub.
Here's a wild idea. What
do you think?
Are they melding plant and tech? Like, everything we've found seems to indicate they want to create hybrids of different biological things. But we've encountered a plant computer. These bioluminescent vines look almost like cables. Are they doing some sort of plant cyborg sort of things?
You player. I'm literally, and you guys are taking this so seriously. Prologue Junior's like thinking about conspiracies in the other team.
Herlock actually Jr. finds himself drawn to one particular section. It's a very small section of the greenhouse. There's a smell. It kind of smells a little like mint.
Oh, I'm all over that thing.
It's catnip.
And you feel drawn to it, but you don't have to go to it if you don't want to.
It's totally happening, man.
All right. As you go over to it, you're kind of like sniffing it. Does a 20? Let's see, 22.
I know I shouldn't, but like I'm like, oh come on, kid. If I gotta,
you gotta. What am I looking for? What are the defenses again, Ted?
Probably attacking as will. Fortitude, reflex, will, or a armor class.
Yeah, fortitude.
Well, you said 20, and if you're going any higher than that,
22.
I just have a 15.
All right, yeah. You're like, you're tripping balls right now, essentially.
Awesome.
You pretty much have a -2 to everything for the next hour.
It's fine. My dice weren't helping me anyway this night.
But you're overwhelmed by a pleasant euphoria as you draw in the scent of what is, there's the species genus, and then like commonly referred to catnip, and then like then there's a list of things they've done to it to kind of like enhance it and make it stronger.
So as that happens, like I kind of like in my Gundam freaking suit. This is awesome. So I'm tripping balls on top of it, like almost like crawling around. It'll be as if like Optimus Prime himself was trying to fish out something out of a tunnel. I mean, I'm just like, digging at this thing, like looking at it, like, I'm going to town on it, man. I look weird as hell.
Well, you can take it with you if you like.
I'll take a sample. They're not gonna miss this, are they? Hell yes. Alrighty, I have catnip.
Just picturing this Buzz Lightyear Gundam style suit rolling around and acting like a cat despite its very humanoid looking body.
And to the rest of you, it just smells pleasant. If you like mint. If you don't like mint, then it's hard.
This is awesome.
Junior, are you coming?
What? Yeah. And I just like start going towards.
You've never seen Perlock Jr. so happy.
It's nice.
He's grinning like the Cheshire Cat at this point. He really doesn't have a choice.
Dad will not be happy.
I can imagine Sai yelling at me at some point, like, "Yo, bro, that's not cool. Drugs ain't good." Be like, "What? Oh."
Nah.
except for steroids.
Sure, yeah. I guess whatever.
There wasn't any steroid plants, was there?
There was not.
I guess as long as it's not happening during game day. So I wouldn't really care.
You got it.
Yeah.
There are some medicinal plants that you can grab. Like you can see that they're clearly meant for that. That are there.
I'll take some medicinal plants, pain relievers or whatnot.
So, Sai,
Yeah.
what are we looking for here? What is our goal?
You're trying to find whatever is at the center of all of this mess.
Right. But when we find it, do you think we can save whatever's left here? Or is this a salvage, not a rescue?
I mean, we gotta try, right?
All right.
Do you doubt it? I mean, would you rather not?
It's not that I would rather not. It's that things are looking more and more complicated, and we've already seen that the longer things are in those pods, the more likely they are to be whatever they're becoming. And if we are dealing with creatures being turned into plants, we may not have many creatures left to save if we take a lot longer here.
And I imagine we're walking as we're talking about this, right?
Yes. Yep.
Going back
Yeah,
the way
I know,
you came, or back
but-
around the other way?
Back around the other way, let's see things that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't encounter anything until you run into the stairs on the other side, and again another set of sealed doors that lead to the lab that will be on your right.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I know the game. The game is kind of where we find our fun, where we find something to do. But it seems like at least here in this world, there's not always something to save. Not always something left. So,
What are you trying to prepare me for the worst?
I don't know. I guess I'm thinking out loud because maybe I'm trying to prepare myself for the worst.
I think that the game is not over yet. I think that if the whistle hasn't gone off and there is still a chance that we can pull this one out of our asses, that we owe it to ourselves to buckle down and pull this one out of our asses. So let's go do that.
Okay.
Ah, I've seen you this serious before, Si. It's kind of weird. I don't have a problem being the hero. Pretty much since I got pulled out of wherever I came from. It's always been a shift in how to make a living. Well, so today we're moving away from ball players into heroes as we try to help people. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Guys, this plan is awesome.
I'm gonna just pick you up so that you can be in the conversation and trip balls.
Yeah. Zostrog, do you know how many arms you have?
I pass you to Zostrog.
6.
I don't know, it's just weird seeing this kind of thing happen in a jungle.
Right.
All right, so Dante, you wanna get the door again?
All right. And he'll light up and go for it again.
It takes considerably longer this time. Like this, whatever's in here was built to withstand. But you do eventually manage to melt your way through. And as you do, it opens up into an area that is almost as big as the greenhouse, but not quite. It's got high ceilings. There seems to be more of those computer banks all over the place. There's workstations, beakers, vials, liquids, places where plants are being grown in bins. And then also in the center, there's like a thick, probably like 10 foot in diameter, almost like a vine that then extends into the floor. Extends out of the floor, I should say. It comes out of the floor, comes up to the ceiling, and then branches out into all of those vines, almost forming almost like the ceiling of this room in particular. But you can definitely see how these are running out into the rest of the building, providing the light. And then another separate at first it looks like a workstation. It looks like an odd shaped table, but as you look at it, you realize that there's soil, and it's kind of concave, right? And growing out of it is all these vines, except for they begin moving around you ever seen like the metal shavings when you use a magnet on them? It looks like kind of like that, but it's all made of greenery and vines, and it starts to take on a form of what looks to be, as I would describe it, a very feminine form. And flowers start sprouting in different hues. The shape is still kind of like rough, and not super distinct. You just make out the feminine form. It looks like, I don't know, it makes me think of a dryad, kind of. and then it speaks in a feminine voice. Oh my, you're not the doctor.
Literally, because, or I mean, I don't. He hasn't gotten stupider. He's just gotten really high. So
Yeah.
he's gonna blurt out the first thing he thinks it is, nanobots. I'm kind of like, huh?
Yeah, and then she says, "Oh goodness, Doctor Lily would definitely not approve of that." And she's kind of waving her hands in the direction of the door you just slagged your way through.
Do you have any idea what's going on outside?
3 days ago, I lost all contact with the outside of this room. Usually, I can monitor the whole width of the complex, and help facilitate the experiments and monitor things. But ever since the good doctor succeeded in inserting sentience into plants, I've been blocked. I believe somehow the sentience has locked me in.
So pretty much the town has been overrun, and there was a giant plant monster the size of a building. There was people kind of kidnapped and put into some kind of pods. We're trying to figure out what happened and save the people.
Oh my, that sounds terrible. I can probably try and help you. What is it you would like to do?
Do you know what the doctor was doing? So maybe we could undo it.
I do indeed know what the doctor was doing. But better yet, perhaps you should look at one of her journals.
That would be fabulous. Do you know where they're at?
I can pull up the journal entries from here. And she does, and a bunch of information starts she kind of does this and forms almost like a screen between her hands, and different journal entries begin appearing. So the first one you kind of notice, after tweaking the gene sequences for heightened awareness, the plants start exhibiting protective behaviors. This increased sentience might be causing unforeseen reactions to their environments.
That's not foreboding.
So if you want to pick out particular entries, take a check that you think might correspond, and let's see what we come up with.
Well, I would imagine either science or nature is gonna work, right?
Yeah, you can definitely try those.
All right.
Where are you going first?
I'll go nature.
All right.
Nature's a 27.
Okay. So entry 85. Plant root networks react vividly to minor soil adjustments affecting nutrients uptake significantly. Manipulating this could alter their overall behavior.
Adjusted the soil, added some kind of chemical and what have you,
and so and you kind of gather, suggest manipulating composition. Not only might affect the behavior, but might influence the pod conditions as well.
Is he giving detailed speculations as to what he think is going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like, entries from her journal while she was, I mean, there's tons of stuff in here that aren't involved with this stuff as well, because this particular person seems the person that's running the whole facility. So,
right.
But these are kind of the ones that pertain to what you guys are looking for.
So I'll give the shortened version of the data I found to the team. We're looking at essentially what I think is a unified sentience that has apparently overrun the town. If I read this all correctly.
And there's a lot more here, so if someone else would like to make a different check.
You just said unify sentience to a guy that is tripping everything. Like, I think we should all be unified.
You guys can also use interaction, science, mechanics, perception. So would someone that's not Ted like to do something?
Yeah, I would like to try a perception.
All right.
Well, I nat one.
Nice.
Well,
Second one of the night, man.
I know this is, I don't know, I know I'm not in no shape to be.
You just have a -2, so you can still do stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just do mechanics real quick.
Okay.
See if I can like obtain any more information. Okay.
PC 12.
Oh, fantastic! So I rolled a 12.
Okay.
-2 is 10, but mechanics is +4. So I make it. I just bumblefuck my way through like tick, 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 tick. You know?
Now roll D6 for me.
Oh, it blows up on me, doesn't it?
Yes, you found the explosive entry.
2.
2. Okay.
Is it like
It
those
had a
exploding trees?
Entry
It had a
40.
glitch recording on it.
Yeah.
You mean this kitten is going to explode?
And explosive runes. Yeah, this kitten is going to explode. Entry 45. Notice the correlation between pheromone exposure and pod secretion rates. There's a chemical trigger here that could be manipulated to open these pods without harm. So there is possibly, basically with your check, this entry is pointing to the direction that there is a possible cure.
Falling. The way I explain that is, guys, we gotta secrete on them if we want to help them out. That's what this says. That's how I explain it.
I will read over his shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
just so that we're not going to do it wrong.
Yes.
That sounds awful, actually. And then Dante will turn to the person and say, I'm Dante, by the way. What was your name?
Oh, how rude of me. I am Verda.
Verda.
I am the lab's AI.
Nice to meet you, Verda. You mentioned something about a Dr. Lily. Maybe if I explain to you what we've encountered, then we can piece together what's going on. And Dante is going to try to use interaction to spin things in the best way possible so that this AI understands that they intend the best for everyone here and are not trying to cause harm.
All right. Roll it up.
Okay, Nerdarchy die. You failed me once. Don't do it again. Oh Lord, that's a 3 on the die.
Are we cursed?
Plus 7. Well, what level are we? Are we 3?
3.
We're level 3, so it should be a +8. So that's 11.
So roll a D6.
Oh no. 1.
Okay.
That was one of my Zoo Mafia dice, so if it failed me.
Entry 53. The initial trials with our prototype communication device provoked some reaction, but it was mixed with distress. Need to refine our approach to ensure clarity and reduce stress.
So there's stress involved. Huh?
So when you fail the checks, you still get an entry. You just don't get insight.
Okay.
You just get the entry, and that's up to you guys to figure out.
So there's stress on the system right now. So
Well, no, it says initial trials with our prototype communication device provoked some reaction, but it was mixed with distress. Need to refine our approach to ensure clarity and reduce stress.
Oh, so it's causing distress to the subjects.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Sound that way.
So this is hurting people. Do you know that you're hurting people, Verda?
We're not hurting people. We don't do any experiments on people in here. People do the experiments.
Are you attached? Are you connected to the plant that's outside? Are you only in here?
I am only in this building. Well, I'm not technically even in this building. I am just in this room now. I've been denied access to the rest of the building.
Is there a way that we could grant you access?
I do not know. I do not know exactly how I'm being blocked.
This root here, and Dante points to the big one in the middle of the room. Are you connected to this?
No, I am not. I believe that is the hub of all the sentient plants in this place.
Can you?
I think
connect?
it may be blocking me,
Huh.
but it also may be connected to any of the problems you mentioned outside. So I would proceed with caution if you interact with it.
Okay. Do you think it's a virus? And every one of you guys would recognize Dante is looking for an excuse to light up and just go at this thing.
No, I believe it is a living creature that has sentience. I believe it feels pain, pleasure, happiness, joy, anger.
So how do we communicate with it?
I do not know. The doctor did not successfully communicate with it before they stopped coming to the lab.
Huh.
What was the doctor? Sorry.
You go ahead.
I was going to say, what was the doctor doing before they disappeared?
They were working with the sentience, with the increasing the sentience of plant life.
Well, yes, but I mean immediately before. Like, what was the last thing you saw them doing?
They were running tests on the main hub here, as they have been doing for months. When they left for the evening, they did not return.
And that
Okay,
was,
so they were going home.
I believe so.
All right.
was that
Go on,
3
Bobby,
days
sorry.
ago? No, you go ahead. Was that 3 days ago?
It was. And that is also when I lost access to the rest of the facility.
Okay. And no one told you you were losing access.
No, I have been cut off. I've been kind of lonely.
Well, could you tell us what Dr. Lily looks like?
Sure. She's holds a hand out. It's a about five, between 5 and 6 foot tall. She has dark green hair and light green skin and violet colored eyes.
Does this description match the person we pulled out of the pod?
It does not.
Okay. Just wondering. All right. Well, Sai,
Yeah.
Perlock,
Oh,
and Zastrog.
Oh, you know what? Okay, but actually, you would have found that you did find an entry.
All right.
Plants showed a positive response to visual stimuli, particularly certain patterns and colors. This discovery could enhance our communication efforts significantly.
Okay.
And also, okay, you guys got that. All right. So, I mean, you can keep sifting through. There are definitely more entries if you wish.
So I have two minds, and perhaps one of you has better judgment than I can light up, and we can take this thing out and restore Verda as the head of this place, or alternatively, I can trace the steps of the good doctor and see what happens to me, and act as bait, and trust that all of you are going to deal with whatever happens if something happens to me.
We've got you. And we need to know more. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence that what she's saying is accurate and that these people were... What she said was that these things, the people were doing the experiments, right?
Yes.
So it seems to me like this is like the plants broke out and are wreaking their vengeance situation.
Okay. So I will, if there's a lab coat to be donned, I will don a lab coat. I am looking for general information about where the doctor may have gone to get home. And I'm going to kind of just trace her path if I can. I don't know how feasible any of that is, but that's what I want to do. You tell me what I need to roll to make that happen or not happen.
So, all right. So the AI can assist you. It can pull up kind of the route, or not the route per se, but where the residential areas are and where a lot of the scientists lived.
Okay.
It's a little bit nicer part of town. They're important. They're kind of important people. And it's only like a 15-20 minute walk from here.
Okay. All right. Well, here I go. And Dante is going to travel the same path.
Okay.
See what happens. Keep an eye out, but trying to figure out what's going on.
All right. So as you're walking along, retracing the steps, roll initiative.
Roll initiative. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Okay, now I'm rolling okay. 15 plus whatever. Plus 5. Dirty 20.
Okay. So, you notice one of those pods dropping down in your direction, and it opens up, and you see like a gas forming inside of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you do?
I light up.
That's what Prologue's going to do later.
He's gonna light up the catnip.
So when you light, what does that mean?
I ignite into fire.
Okay. So is that a power you have?
No, it's not. It's just a flavor thing.
Okay. All right. So you light up.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything else?
I would like to ready an action. If this thing attempts to grab me up, I would like to do a fiery flare to try to blast it with fire.
Oh, okay. So this is what's going to happen.
Okay.
As it does come down and opens up, and that mist just washes all over you as you do your fiery flare.
Okay. So I need to make an attack roll. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's 10 on the die. That's not amazing. Plus wisdom mod is 4, so that's 14. Plus my level. So that's 17 to hit versus
what do you-
reflex.
versus reflex. Okay, so you blast the fire up, which that mist evaporates instantly, and the flame goes right into the center of it. And also, as you kind of like as you're lighting it up, you can see those fibrous tendrils inside, kind of like Celia, kind of wiggling around. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But then like it just combusts, and you kind of feel and hear like this animalistic scream of pain, and many of the vines of the pods around you guys kind of shake, and then as almost like a delayed reaction, you hear basically the whole town cry out at once in pain.
Oh. So this is what's happening.
As if everything is connected by these plants.
Zostrog? Are you behind somewhere?
I'm close. I don't know what to tell you. Are you getting any kind of connection there?
Well, how do we remove them safely? That's what you found, right?
We found that there's some data, but we'd have to experiment.
Okay. So I'm gonna start running in the direction of the screams to see if I can.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. So I'm looking for pods to try to like sever from this thing.
Did they scream out once, or are they like did they scream, and are they still screaming?
One prolonged scream that eventually settles.
Would I be able to ascertain, like, was that like a holy crap that hurt scream? Was that a a final death scream?
It was not a death keen, but it was definitely pain. There's no mistake in that.
I'll ask Verde, do we have the whatever chemicals were in the data in the entry to be able to see?
You guys going back to the lab?
Yeah,
because he was going to the neighborhood the doctor lived in.
Yeah, I walked really far, and you guys were, or some people at least, were following me. Sai said they were.
Well, I'll run back to the lab, and I'll ask if they have the chemicals that were that are in this entry here about safely restoring somebody in a pod, safely opening the pods.
So the research was incomplete. So the entry was notice the correlation between pheromone exposure and pod secretion rates. There is a chemical trigger here that could be manipulated to open these pods without harm. So this is speculation.
Oh, lovely. All right, well then.
But you have a lab and a virtual assistant.
All right. So I will ask the assistant. Does it understand? This correlation, and if we needed to get people out of these pods quickly, what does she think is the best method?
Well, I don't have the expertise of the doctor. I am more of a assistant. You're going to have to do the research on yourself. I will assist the best of my ability. I will help you find what you need in the lab, and I can point you to different information as long as you are specific and tell me what you need.
All right. Well, I don't know what. Ted doesn't know science enough to do all of this. So how quickly would I be able to experiment while Dante is out there, cutting off people from their pods?
So what you want to do is develop an antidote to reverse the mutant plant's protective instincts to create a chemical climate that can safely dissolve the encasing pods.
Yeah.
So this is a skill challenge. Achieve 6 successes before accumulating 3 failures. This reflects the complex, high-stakes nature of the task. You may want some help from your friends.
So you might find this hilarious, Zossi. I was mentally thinking Perlock's tripping major ball. So I was thinking Perlock was just going to be left behind, continually tripping balls while everyone did, productive things. If you want to use him as an assistant, I have to remind you, I have a -2 to everything right now.
I've got the AI for the assistant. That's better than the chirping catapus.
Yeah.
By the way, Dave, I lied. I do have a fiery aura that causes things within 5 feet or within adjacent to me to take 5 fire damage.
Can't believe you lied to me.
I'm so sorry. I'm malicious that way.
So,
It's
where
in my
is everybody?
traits.
Are you guys together or are you guys separated?
I guess we're separated.
I mean, to know is go.
I told them what I was going to go do. I told them I'm running back to the lab to see if we can get people out safely. I'll let Dante inside determine what they're going to do.
Okay, so he was going back to the lab, and he let you know that's what he was doing. Do you guys return to the lab with him? Are you staying out here?
Well, Sai, what should we do? Do we start tearing these pods down and severing them from that connection that's causing them pain? Do we go back with Zostrog?
We trust Zostrog.
All right. So what do we do?
All right.
Whatever he needs us to do to get it done faster.
Okay, what do you need?
We are extra hands.
All right. So Zostrog is taking the lead. You guys are assisting. The primary skills for this challenge are science, perception, mechanics, interaction.
Okay. I'm good at interaction. That's the only one of those I'm good at.
Secondary skills are going to be athletics and nature.
Oh, good.
No conspiracy on this one.
No conspiracy. Sorry. All right. So the first phase is the research and preparation phase. The primary skills for this are going to be science and nature. You can always use the secondary skills in order to. It won't further your successes, but if you fail, it will count against you as a failure. But it can give one of your teammates, a +2 advantage on their check.
My nature's a +8, so I'll start off with that one.
All right. Let it rip.
You've seen on the die, that's 23.
All right. So, you identify which plant species or extracts could be effective against the plant's aggressive instincts. That is one success. We need one more success in this phase. and with science.
I am not scientific.
Mine's a 4. In this case, it's a 2. I can give it a shot.
Can the AI assist him here and cancel out his -2?
No, it doesn't really work that way, no.
Okay.
Alright, well, this is why we play RPGs off of the RNG. Let's go, baby!
Oh no.
Alright, even if I didn't, let's say I didn't have a -2, right?
Uh-huh.
I rolled a 2.
Yeah, that's going to be a failure.
I can really do this on my own, guys.
Did you say we can
No,
use
no.
interaction?
Not on this phase.
Oh, no.
This phase is science and nature.
Okay. Science and nature. I mean, I guess if somebody else has to make a check, I can do nature. I have +6 in that.
Oh,
Or I guess it would be
the nature.
+7 because I'm level 3. I didn't level. So.
Yeah, but the nature check has already been succeeded.
Oh, so it has to be science.
Yeah.
I have a +2.
Yeah, if you would have said, "Hey, my nature's good," I would have done science. That would have been a
yeah.
21.
Sai, what you got?
No.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll do science because nobody else.
All right.
All right, we'll try. I'm being real bad at this.
Hey,
Let's
man.
see.
You
Okay,
rolled 20.
I didn't roll awful. That
There you
is a 13 on the die plus 2, 15.
15 is the number.
Yes!
Oh.
Nice.
So you
Nice,
analyze
nice.
the existing data and research to formulate a hypothesis for the antidote. So between what you and Zastrog had come up with, you're like, okay, we have a working theory here. Now we have to move on to phase 2, synthesis and experimentation. This is going to be a
Right,
mechanic
well-
check and a perception check.
So for this, I saw like Prolock was having a long conversation with one of the plants, thinking that he was formulating, good theory to one of us, and it was just a momentary distraction in what we were doing. Does that fit the scene there, Carlos?
Absolutely. So, you were just over. Oh, shit. I see.
All right, so mechanics and perception is what we're looking at.
Yes. So you guys might
My
want to
mecha-
discuss.
My mechanics is 6. My perception is +4.
My perception is +6. My mechanics is +2. But actually, my perception is +7. My mechanics is +2. So that's where I sit. What about you guys?
My best,
One of you has got me beat on both of those.
Yeah, like same.
All right, so I could handle mechanics. You could handle perception. What do we have as secondary skills as an option here, Dave?
Secondary skills are always going to be nature and athletics.
Oh, Sai's good at athletics.
Oh, I'm good at athletics.
So let Sai go.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, so athletics, basically the way athletics works is you're able to, because of your athletics, you're able to endure long hours of hazardous conditions, particularly when dealing with toxic substances or air filled with spores. You're kind of a body shield.
Oh, cool. 24.
Okay, so you can give +2 to one of them.
You want to take it
Excellent.
there? You want to take it there, Bobby?
Sure. So I will take a +2. And I needed that +2. So for perception, that is going to be another 15 because of the +2.
Oh, wow. All right, so
Wow.
constantly monitor the chemical reaction, adjusting the procedure based on any signs of failure or unexpected outcomes, and you're able to garner, your third success.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Robin.
All right, Zotrog.
You saved the day.
So I'm rolling mechanics,
Yeah.
and my dice are on fire this evening. Maybe I'm counterbalancing, some of the natural ones that are out there, but I just crit that shit.
All right.
Yes.
So because you crit, I'll allow you to give a +2 to somebody else. Delicate manipulation of materials is crucial to safely create the compound. So between the two of you, the only thing left is testing and final adjustments.
All right. So what do we have for this one's skill set?
All right. This one is athletics and interaction.
My athletics is +9. My interaction is +8.
I'll give you the +2 for your interaction, and we don't need plus for athletics because Sai's got that shit.
Yeah.
What do you got? What are you rolling? 17 on it? On your athletics there, Robin?
Yeah, something close to that.
That's wild.
Just don't roll one.
All right, let's see. Oh, I got an 18 on the die. Plus, my interaction is 8, so that's 26.
Plus the 2.
Plus 2, 28.
Okay.
And what do you got for athletics, Robin?
23.
Okay. So, interaction, you negotiating the lab's AI and automated systems to utilize specific equipment to gain access to critical chemicals. So the AI is crucial in helping you, and the athletics is you're able to maintain concentration and manage fatigue during the high stakes extended laboratory efforts. So, like when they're kind of flailing and fatiguing, Sai's kind of been like told do this, and this with the AI like looking over them because the AI isn't going to get tired, and neither does Sai. So you're able to complete the challenge successfully, and with the help of Verta. And you do have a compound now that you can put on to safely remove the people from the pods. But that's kind of like you have the cure to the symptom, not necessarily the disease. There's still the problem of the sentient plants.
And we didn't get any information of how to undo the sentience, right?
No, but it's been hinted at that it can be communicated with. But you're going to need special equipment in order to do it, and they've been testing it. I mean, you can go back and see if there's more entries.
Yeah, we'll go back and see if there's things we didn't look at.
I think that's a good idea, but I think that we should help the people out first because that's on a timetable and we don't want them to get permanently mutated.
Sure, let's do that then.
We could divide and conquer. It's risky, but it would save us the time we need if Sai and I go to rescue people. You two could stay here and try to figure out how to communicate with this thing.
Sure.
This might be a stretch.
So-
I ingested a plant. Do I have insight into what this thing is thinking at this point?
Wow, that catnip's really getting to you, huh?
I got a -2 to everything, so I'm at least see if I can do anything to contribute.
You absolutely believe you do.
Like what went into my mind?
I am one with the plants. So here's the thing. You do have a compound, and you will be able to free people. There's thousands of people in this town.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's going to take time.
Right. My plan is kind of I can handle the plants and getting the plants severed from this thing, and Sai can kind of watch my back and make sure that I don't get eaten or ambushed or whatever. That as we're going together, because I don't know what your speed is, Sai, but I can have a flying speed of 10 feet. Or 10 squares, rather, which is, I think, 60 feet.
I can keep up. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have like a brachiation type ability. Let me check my thing. But continue talking while I do that.
Okay. So, all right. Ted looking for more entries. Let me know. Mechanics, interaction, science. What skill do you want to use?
I can use interaction.
I was mistaken.
Okay. All right. Give me a roll.
12.
Okay. So all right. So what you discover is that there's tasks that can be automated through Verda. And she wants to do it for you to help you. But she can't because there's a security protocol in place that she can't bypass herself.
Do we know how to... Can she tell us how to bypass it?
She cannot. Because if she knew how to do it, she could probably do it herself.
Okay. Can I mechanics or science the bypass?
I'm going to say mechanics.
Get it, Zossie.
24.
Okay. So, yeah. So, so when you bring up, the entry saying, "Hey, Verda, you could do this stuff," right? Based on the entry, she's like, "Yeah, I can," and then then she can't, and then you start mucking with it the way you kind of guys did with the computers before, and it like kind of like flips a switch. So, like, oh, yes, I will absolutely be able to assist you further, in creating and accessing the information about communicating with the sentients. But I believe I was being partitioned off for a reason, for perhaps fear of contamination. I'm not sure if the doctor was concerned I would be contaminated or the sentients.
Well, how strong is your will?
Well, I don't know. I just kind of mostly assist and do what I'm asked.
Oh. So that means not much.
This plant is the experimentation with sentience. So even though Verda can talk to us, she's not technically sentient, right?
She's artificial intelligence.
So, like, but the experiment is for this thing to gain sentience. So
Yes.
if she was segregated off, they were worried about that sentience having access to Verda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't necessarily want Verda in there because Verda will just assimilate into that as opposed to the other way around.
Yep.
And might add her intellect to the sentience.
I'm literally thinking about the Borg right now.
I actually understood that reference.
So I don't want to do, I don't want to remove the barrier between her and the greater plant.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can get her more access in here, I would do it.
So she pulls up another entry. Perhaps this will be of use. Experimenting with sound frequencies today, I found that the lower tones seem to soothe the plants. Perhaps a calibrated sound device could help us communicate more effectively or calm their defenses. So if you want to make a science check, Zorstrad.
Ooh. It was on another 18 and it rolled to a 4. That is a 10.
Okay. Take with that from that what you will.
So we gotta either play some, low frequency music or, build some kind of device that can emulate that. Do we have anything within the town that can do that sound?
Well, so the doctor was experimenting in the lab, so there is stuff here to work with. So you guys are trying to get as many of these pods as possible.
Yes,
this
is correct.
And what is Perlock Jr. doing?
I'll purr next to one of the plants to see if it does anything to it. It's a low frequency.
Ooh.
Purring is a low frequency. So.
Yeah.
Any plant or a specific plant?
Any one that's acting goofy.
Well, there's the one in the center of the room that seems to be the sentient plant.
Sure. I do just that.
Give me an interaction check.
-2, right?
Yes.
How long is this going for?
An hour.
-2 brings me to 10.
10? The lights, the lights from the vines that are kind of coming off of it, they kind of get erratic and seem to be agitated.
So I stop purring. Does it get less pissed off?
After a time.
I literally was going to do that for a while, see if I make the connection.
If only we in this world could reach and touch the world of our characters, I could give them access to Sirenscape.
If only. All right. I'm going to need a athletics or acrobatics check from Sai and Dante.
Okay, I'm going acrobatics for this.
Okay.
29 athletics.
All right.
So I got a nat 20.
Okay.
And that's a 34.
All right. So
it's
right.
wild.
So this is how it's going to work. 29 and 34.
34.
We're going to add those together. And then because you got
63?
a crit, because you got a crit, what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is divide 63 by 5.
Okay.
So you free 12 people, plus, because of the crit, an additional 3, for a total of 15 people. But that probably took you guys, let's see, roll a d6.
6.
And you too, Robin.
4.
So, all right.
The boss was showing if that matters.
You get doubles?
So, it takes you 100 minutes, right? So, an hour and 40 minutes to rescue 15 people.
Oof.
And there are thousands.
Okay.
So I'm just imagining us going out here, like, and the superhero music is playing, and we're really enthusiastically gathering people down, and then we, like, check what the time is and how far we have to go, and it's, like, this comical back pan of the camera.
Listen, it may only be 15 people, but to those 15 people and the people that care about them, it's everything.
That's true.
Was it the enemy team we gotta play?
It was just a bunch of random descendants of the town, and they're safe, and they're kind of like unconscious, but they're like recovering. They're like wiped out.
Sai, do we want to go get everyone else for this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. How fast are you?
Not as fast as you are.
Okay. I'll go. Do you feel comfortable with me going to get help, or
Yes?
do you want to go together?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I will fly
I'll keep
off to
watch.
go get Herbie and Bloody Mary and Crunch and Perlock Sr.
Senior's gonna stay behind.
It's like, I ain't doing it.
Can I get Craig McCroker to come and help?
Well, the thing is, like, if he gets nicked once, he's dead.
Well, I mean, you can boss Pretty Pete and Gorgeous George around. They kind of they're total lackeys and toadies, so they'll do what you tell them.
Maybe we can convince what is the Jello guy's name? Let me I have this noted somewhere. We have, no, it's not in there. I think I put it in art actually, because I did art of that guy. Yeah. Oh, I didn't put his name.
You're looking for Gary Goosgax?
Yes, Gary Goosgax, the 2 eyeballs in a bowl of gelatin in a baby carriage.
And you also have Gus.
And Gus, the goat man.
Okay. So you got those 3, and then 3. That's 6.
Perlock,
Okay.
you can just boss all of them around.
Yeah, manager. Like, I do that.
So there's 7 of them. You guys can repeat those checks again.
Hey. Herbie will look at Perlock Sr. and say, "If you want, I can give you a hug."
A hurtful hug?
A helpful hug. Okay, so that is 11 base plus... what are we rolling? Acrobatics?
Or athletics.
Okay, so that's a 25.
And Robin?
I've got 32 and 27.
I knew Sai was gonna wreck face.
Well, we just need the one. That's the.
Okay, so 32.
All right.
By the way, this music is actually Sai's theme. It's not the superhero music.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, okay. Roll 2d6 again. I mean, each of you roll a d6. I'm sorry.
Okay. Carlo Hambino. Don't do me wrong. 4. It was an enemy die this time.
What did you say, Robin? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
2.
Well, actually, lower is better. So it takes an hour, and between the 9 of you, is my math? Yeah. Actually, there's more than that. So between the lot of you, math's hard right now. You're now up to 85 people rescued.
Hey.
I mean 95 rescued. So back in the lab with Perlock Jr. and Zostrog. So you kind of find like the equipment that she'd been testing and working on. And that gear which you can try and replicate what you've been working on. You find the notes, which is going to be another skill challenge.
Okay.
This one's
Has it
going to
been
be
long enough that our Perlock is not affected by the catnip?
Yes, yeah. He's finally back to himself.
Oh, thank God.
Less happy though. So basically, if you're successful, you can create, you can basically be able to communicate with the plants. You're going to need 8 successes before 3 failures. This is a bit different. You're trying to speak to plants through a machine.
Right.
It's kind of like what is it? Is it Encounters of the 5th Kind? Encounters of the 3rd Kind?
Close Encounters of the 4th Kind?
That
3rd Kind?
one of those things. So,
I've gone through all my dice so far, Ted. I think I'm alright. I'm like trying out ones that are shit. I'm like, God, come on. Nope, jail time.
yeah.
I pulled out one d20 and it's done fairly well for me tonight, so I'm gonna stick with that one.
All right.
For the first one is establishing contact and putting it all together and kind of making this thing work. You can use science, mechanics, insight, or interaction, in order to build the machine in a way that lets you establish the contact.
All right. So what is the best you have for that, Carlos?
It's gonna be a 4 all around, mechanics and science.
Okay.
Which, I have to do one of them. So whatever one you're best at, you can do.
Well, I mean, I'll do interaction because that's actually crazy high for me.
Okay.
Little I've been using my weak skills.
This is like that Princess Bride moment.
Let's see.
Do you not have a stat bonus, Carlos?
I have stat bonuses. I told you before. My stats are garbage.
Oh.
I rolled really well for my stats.
Yeah.
Not everybody did that. So, all right. So I got a 27 for interaction.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Gotta
So
remember, my dude was a punk rocker before he decided to become a ball player.
All right.
so my dice actually like me. I rolled 16 plus 4, not a -2. Gives me a 20.
Okay. So, which did you do? Mechanics or science?
Science.
Okay. So you kind of, analyze the communication methods that the doctor had already established. You guys tweak the machine a little bit. Once you got it fully up and running, you're pretty sure you know how to make it work. You figured out where the doctor went wrong with the interaction as far as expressing your intentions clearly, and you're going to be you're pretty sure you know how to negotiate with the plants. But first, you guys, I need a mechanics check from one of you to get the machine together.
I'll let you have the honor.
All right. It's a 16 on the die, 22.
All right, you're good. So you've established contact. Now for the initial communication, perception and insight is what we're looking at.
All right. So perception and insight for me are both +4. What do you got there, Carlos?
Uno. I haven't seen positive stats till I hit level 3. Alright, so anyone you want to do, I'm fine, man. You may go first.
All right. I'll do insight. Do we know what our DC is for this, Dave?
It's a 15.
It's cracked. All right. Well, that's a failure for me. That is it's a 9.
Your dice can bleed.
Yeah, my dice don't always roll great. They just have been rolling generally higher than average.
Which means, Carlos, you now must make the insight check.
I don't think Ted's gonna cut it, man.
Well, Ted had the good luck. Maybe he gave some of the luck to you. Maybe that's why he rolled badly this time.
All right. So you've got 2 failures and 3 successes. You guys can each start over.
Right.
Are there any secondary skills that can be used?
So now, because you guys.
Like, if you told me stealth somehow is useful in here, Jesus Christ, I got you covered.
So since you guys have found with those, we can add science in as well. And survival.
Survival?
Yes.
I don't have survival on my...
I see stealth, science...
Oh, is that not one?
Nature.
Acrobatics, athletics, conspiracy, insight, interaction, mechanics, nature, perception,
Where's my
science.
cheat sheet?
Can they add athletics and just hit the thing?
No. Make that conspiracy, because conspiracy is weird in this game. It's like remembering stuff.
Okay. I'm not
Alright,
garbage that.
I got a 19 for science.
Okay.
Okay. I got a +4 conspiracy.
All right. So basically,
Alright.
so you realize too that like pheromones play a large part in communicating with it. So adding that in, so now you guys are at 4 successes, but you still need 1 more success to get past the establishing the communication. So basically, you kind of mix up a solution and like miss the tree with it to make it happier.
I got a 15 for my conspiracy.
Okay.
I mean, I rolled 11. I have a +4 to it, so thank God for the octopod.
So basically, you kind of like remember some encounters you've had from your past with plant like mutates, right? And you kind of bring that to the table. So you guys and you're able to kind of relate from that, or maybe you share with it your love of catnip. I'm not sure, but you guys you've established contact. You've initiated the communication. Now you must deepen your communication and negotiate. Which again, this one is also going to be conspiracy and interaction are your two main skills.
Alright, I'll take action if you want conspiracy.
Yes, sir. Alright.
Action is a 17.
Yes! Oh my god, my dice can go above 12. That's gonna be a natural 20, my guy. With a 4 at it.
Okay, so interaction, you directly engage with the plants using established communication methods, conveying peaceful intentions and discussing terms for releasing the residents. And, Carlos, you maintain safety and manage logistical challenges while embedded in this potentially hostile negotiations. All right, guys, through the machine that you guys have reconstructed and put to use, the plants begin to speak to you. And we're at 10:30, so we're going to cut it here, and next week we will start with our conversation with the plants as you're negotiating the release of the townsfolks. With that, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us tonight and watching the game. Thanks, of course, to